Ok, câmera 1 a gravar, câmera 2 a gravar, tá? Certeza? Câmera 3 a gravar. Sound speed, camera speed. And action.
Gazupa, Eastern High Frequency. That was beautiful. Thank you so much for that crazy energy.
Thank you so much.
and she walked away under the sign of Supercuts. That's fun. That's a lovely, lovely film. Welcome, Sasha Jacobson. Welcome to Selma.
All right. Thank you for having me, Derek.
Thanks for being here. Tell me about that film.
So, well, first of all, I'm just lucky enough to be working with some amazing collaborators. As you saw there, Maxi Copello and Raquel Macau, they're just some of the most amazing dancers in the world. I mean, they're just so wonderful people and great dancers. And I've collaborated with them quite a bit now. That's our second video that we've done together. Mm-hmm. And then the director, Daniel Peters, who came up with the concept for that film, we call it a Tango film. And you know, I've also worked with him many times before. And and all of these people do live the tango lifestyle, you know, which is there's many elements, but it's about the embrace. You embrace your dance partner, and you also embrace your friends. When you go to dance tango, you give a big hug to everybody that you see there at the milonga, which is where you go to dance tango. It's just part of the culture. And so, yeah, during COVID, there was no tango, there was no milongas, there was no nothing. So not only there's no place to dance, but it's a place to connect with people and just to be social in a really great environment where it's not about drinking. Maybe you have a glass of wine or even something stronger, but it's not a bar. It's not where you're just going to drink. You're really going to dance and socialize and everything. So I think a lot of people missed it. It really made me realize, wow, this can all go away just like overnight. Wow, I never thought that could happen.
Originally from Afghanistan, now living in Fremont, who just did an amazing concert for us. Homayoun Saki, thank you for being here.
Thank you. You know, like audience always give us energy.
Yeah.
And that's important for musician. And then last night it was great. I enjoy a lot.
You started at 10 years old, right? That's when you were first
Exactly,
started,
yes. When I started, I was 10 years old.
Was there a choice? Or was this like, no, this is what you're doing?
Actually, when I was 8 years old, I used to play tabla.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, I started singing when I was 9 years old. And then one day, like it was morning, it was like 5 o'clock, like morning AM. I feel the sound is coming like from somewhere, like it was amazing. My cousin, he played rebab. I was not sure, like I would sleep or I was awake, and between this, I said, oh, this sound is coming from sky. And then after that day, I started rebab.
Oh, so that's a beautiful story.
Thank you.
So you were called to the instrument. You don't hear that very often. Most of the time, especially in the West, I'm going to pick up this guitar, then I'm going to get girls. I'm going to get rich, and everybody's going to love me, and I'm going to be the star. All the people out there that are going to pick up this instrument, I'm going to be the best in the world. You know.
Actually, everybody's trying to be the best, you know.
The best, but for different reasons. Traditional spectrum. I've been playing various artists that play an instrument called rubab, which is kind of a short neck lute, which is the instrument of Afghanistan. It's incredibly powerful. It has so much emotion, and it was the perfect instrument to kind of present an aspect of Afghanistan that most people wouldn't get. The texture, the subtlety, the humanity of what's going on gets lost on people. And there's something about this instrument and players of the instrument that connects people in a way that very few instruments are able to do. Chaldi kala vich rehende, chaldi kala vich rehende, bole sonehal sat sri akal, bole sonehal sat sri akal, o nanak naam chaldi kala, tere bhane sarvata bhala.
My name is Sunny Singh. I'm a Brooklyn-based musician and activist, and I'm recording my first solo album called Chardi Kala. I'm a trumpet player, singer, dhol player, songwriter, and for the last 10 years or so, I've been playing in a Brooklyn Bhangra band called Red Barat.
For the last decade, Sunny has brought his energy to audiences around the world. Sunny Singh, welcome to Sama.
Thank you.
What got you into music? What was the thing?
Yeah, when I was a kid, it really did start from the spiritual angle. That was some of my first exposure to music. Some of my first times playing music was in a Sikh devotional context, and it was something that I did because a lot of Sikh kids did it. My parents wanted me to do it, even though there's no musicians in my family. It was this sort of way to connect with our community, connect with our history. And when I became a trumpet player in school band, I think something about that resonance, something about diving into sort of like the tones and melodies that instrument creates, it just became a really important part of my personality, an important part of my expression.
Today, I've got Quetzal. They bring musical stories of culture, politics, and humanity, and they are choric, which is fabulous. And the music combines lush ballads to barn-burning Joroco rock songs with unstoppable zapateado?
Zapateado, yeah.
Zapateado foot stomping. They won a Grammy. It has great stages around the world for nearly 3 decades. They're still together. Welcome. Thanks for being here.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Derek. It's always good to be in the space with you.
Thank you. I wanted to ask you a little bit about Veracruz, and I wanted to talk to you a little bit about different languages and different identities in there, because one of the things that really strikes people when I play music, like, on my radio show from Mexico, that's not in Spanish. People go like, what is this? It's like, not everybody in Mexico speaks Spanish. There's a bunch of different languages there. There's a bunch of different cultures there, like what happened with the Zapatistas in Chiapas. So as artists, and where you are right now, this is going to be a tough one, and I apologize. Where are we? How is this? How are you? Where are you right now in East LA, as an example? How does that resonate with what's going on in the world? How are people? Is it just everybody's just hunkered down and thinking about themselves, or are they also thinking about what else is going on?
Well, I think that we are definitely following in the trajectory of a lot of other Chicano artists did at the time, in the sense that we are responding to our surroundings, our neighborhood, our culture, and all the adversity that's coming at us. I think that artists before us, recording artists before us, like Lalo Guerrero, Lidia Mendoza, Don Tosti, like all of the, and then bands, Los Lobos, and like all of the other bands that have, traditional and rock influenced fusion bands. They're all, we're pretty much responding in that sense as well, right? We're writing, our music reflects, the concerns, the questions, new propositions, new visions, right? We continue to write. We're working on various projects right now. And so that continues to happen. I think that will, perhaps that's always been the case with musicians. They're always, responding and absorbing and responding and then giving new proposals, right, for new visions. But so that doesn't really change, I think, in our world.
Tell me about the song. It's so lovely, and it's so lovely the way you did it. It was just like, classic.
It was originally actually for Passover 2020. It was sort of the first thing that we tried to do during the pandemic. And so our skills at doing things like that were completely, what do you do? I was in the stairwell outside of my apartment, and I tried to get a take where people weren't walking by, and it's on my phone, and the sound is from my phone. It just was a song that had been floating around, and it seemed like a good thing to latch onto. So that's what we did, and everybody added their part, and then we put it out into the world.
Hey everybody, it's Derek Mazzoni here at WOMEX, here for SAMA, Seattle Circuit Music and Art, here for KEXP, and it is my pleasure to present the first ever in the world Microtonal Zaz and guitar duo, Tolgahan Chogulu and Sinan Ayitz. Tell me the origin story, because you're definitely into your instrument. This isn't like 3 chords in a garage, quote unquote. You guys go deep into here. How did this come about?
Oh, this is a complicated, difficult, long story. Okay. But to cut it short, in 2008, I designed my own guitar called adjustable microtonal guitar, on which you can move all the frets along the fretboard. So the microtone that the Zaz has, I already have here. So it's an additional pitch for the guitar.
These two instruments is completely
fit to each other.
As sound, yes. And as sound system also. It started like...
Yes, it started 8 years ago.
Okay.
Yes. And we ended up in WOMEX, and yesterday we played here, so we are so happy.
Inevitably, the next generation comes, things change. Yeah. What role does music play in keeping that community together?
The music makes us feel like as we are in Cabo Verde, with the true stories, with the fresh rhythm from the islands of Cabo Verde. It even sometimes makes us feel the smell of what we're talking about. Okay. The music is very, 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 very important for the diaspora.
Ele beija ela, ela beija ele. Ele beija ela, ela beija ele. Ele beija ela, ela beija ele. Mas se rolar um clima, ele beija ele, ela beija ela. Para eles o amor é livre. Ela não é gay, ele não é viado e não são mais classificados.
I travel all over the world. There's Brazilian music all over the world. There's, you know, Korean music isn't all over the world. Malian music, it's Brazilian music is all over the world.
For us, artists from Brazil, we have a conscience that we are a kind of ambassador. So, and now, particularly now with Bolsonaro, our presence around the world is very important.
Ele, ela beija ela. Para eles o amor é livre.